Alright, back again. We fired the cameraman for a minute. He's having too much fun being yelled at. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next part. You like how that's self-installed when I rotated the motor up?
That's awesome.
See, that's fancy. So you put it right there and it's like that. That's a speed secret there.
It's like putting a ring on her finger.
Okay, so there is the spacer that goes in there that doesn't really do much, but it does do some things. Okay, now one of these gears in here we're going to use. Do you know which one you want to use yet?
That one.
That one?
That one.
Is that the same color in the bag or is that a different color?
You know, it feels like the right one.
It feels good to you.
Feels good.
Where's our camera shaft at? That'd be this thing right here. Sure you didn't clean this yet. Okay, so we need that. This feels like there's a lot of paper in here. Ooh, look at that. I need these two parts here too. They look dirty too. Okay, here you can read the instructions on how to do this project.
Okay.
You need to pick out a gear out of there. I'm thinking that I'll look for a red one or a blue one. Go with red. Red's a good color for you.
Red. Oh yeah.
Is the right color?
Yep.
Right here.
Oh, it's red.
It's red. That's good gear. You got the right gear too. Look at that. That's pretty good. You got a cam here.
That's that top secret Tatro machine grind.
Yeah.
It's unavailable unless you.
That is that special non-California approved, California approved
It's only available from
Clean.
Tatro machine.
cleaning materials. Yes, I got a little slop. Didn't get it all off. Yeah. Prelude. Okay. We need to make sure this fits on your thing. I don't even know what we're putting in here. We're putting in this thing.
It's a secret.
EV59. Ooh, a hot one. You put the Go Fast one in there. Look at that. It fits just like the last one. Perfect. Okay, that's a plus. Okay, now gravity helps you when you go like this. Okay, this is the red gear. It says red.
Yes, sir.
It's a little dirty.
Cleanage.
Yeah, you didn't clean it very well. Okay, so this here has to go on. This here has to go on. Oh, I know what we don't have. A nut. You put my bags away before you got the nuts out, didn't you? You need a penny nut. You got a penny nut? We didn't get the penny nut out. These are all spacers, but that might be a nut. Nope, that's a black spacer. You can't have the black spacer. That looks like a nut there, though. Ooh, that's probably an old. That's a Jim's nut. This is older than your motor is.
Damn.
What year is this? No, not quite. 95. What year's your motor?
Actually, it's a 2000.
Oh, that's right. Your late model bike. Okay, that part's older than your whole bike is. That'd be called a vintage part.
I pay extra for vintage parts.
That's good because right now I don't see any other gear, any other nuts for some reason. It appears that someone didn't buy some new nuts lately. So we only got the vintage nut left I keep for myself. Damn, I guess I'm not keeping it for myself now. Leave it at the vendors out of them again. They do that to me all the time, believe me. Here's some late model nuts. See, this is the correct nut for your bike, but see, we're not using the correct crankshaft, so that doesn't work. Ooh, that looks promising there. That ain't it. Those are nuts were too big. All right, we're gonna have to use my vintage nut that I don't want to get rid of. All right. Most time this stuff is Jim's. This little Gary Bang stuff. See, now people don't even know what Gary Bang is. Back in the day, he was a good guy. Yeah, look at that. Looks just like a Jim's nut. Look at that. It does look like a Jim's nut. Now, is the Jim's nut's going to fit the import shaft? Sometimes they don't fit. Oh, look at that. Just like it was made for it. That's way too good for you. Okay, that goes on there. But we're missing something. We're missing. Huh, what's missing?
I do not know.
Is that supposed to just spin on there?
Oh, keep.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you mean that thing goes over there? Appears to be the same problem we had with the other part. Remember that problem we had?
Mm-hmm. Should we try to thin it down a little?
No. What do you want to do that for?
No.
Trying to make your life easy or something?
I just thought rub it on a stone might help a little.
Nah. Big ass hammer.
That's the other way of doing it.
Or just squeeze the piss out of it with a pair of pliers. See, this one I get over from this side. Okay. Now we gotta do is make sure it's on there all the way. You know how you tell if it's on all the way or not?
No.
You can't really tell. Tighten it up. Could be done with a big hammer. That might be the part. Some of that liquid stuff on my hand again. I don't know where that stuff came from. What's this? Tool.
Tool. Installer.
Appears to be tight. That's one way to tell if it's on all the way. If it's tight, it's probably on all the way. I would never over torque it. Make sure the gear don't wobble. Crank locked up. Did you hear it lock up?
Mm-mm.
It did, right there. I just jammed it in there, see? It's the problem with these HB rods. They like to nail cases. Especially when you rotate backwards like I like to do a lot. See how it rotates evenly? Gear's not wobbling.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do this thing like that in there.
Too close.
My finger don't bend that way. hands don't work this direction very well. See, I'm moving the case on here and doing it. Makes it hard to see. Alright, that's enough.
We get the idea.
Maybe. Okay, so now we have a... Your would take a full round washer this that size. This is the early one. This got to cut out for a reason. Then you have a spacer. There's some marks on here someplace. There they are, way over here. Okay, gotta look for a mark on that thing. Voila. See the mark? See the mark
Where the
lines
red
up?
gear is.
No, see the line right there lines up with that. The red mark's on the tooth where it doesn't matter. The line's right there, see? Lines up directly. If it lines up, if they're not like that, but like that, you got something wrong.
Gotcha.
Okay, now is the cam cover going to fit on here? It's going to be tight like last time. Because I already tried putting a cam in here once. It didn't work. Or on some of it. It was a different job. That's probably a different job. Alright, so if these gears are too big, they'll be too far and this won't go down. If it's too loose, it will still go on. Tight. Okay. Crank does rotate, which is a plus. In case it locks up and get too high in the air. These stupid ass studs are in my way. Okay, see how it's free turning?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good sign. Okay, where's those fancy bolts we came up with? See them anywhere?
I think I only have nice old grungies.
Yes. What did you do with them?
Let me go take a look.
They were over here. They're not in there. Go look at the junk pile again. I think you helped me out by putting stuff away again. See, when the customer puts parts away, we don't have what we need laying here. Nope, I definitely don't have them. Alright, we're going to use a reed reader on this motor. This one actually is for this application. Rarely do I use them for the application they're made for. Okay, so you slip these down to tape. Then they open up. Make sure you read the instructions. Don't lose that spring, very important. That's what holds it together. Put that where you won't lose it. Okay, make sure it's clean. So as you get pressure, the reed opens. When you get a vacuum, it closes, so it's 100% self-adjusting. That's what I like about these. Can't put it in the motor because I got cam cover on there. Yeah, see you next time. You know, all kinds of instructions to read now. You got a lot of homework to read here.
On the cam?
Oh, there's all kinds of paperwork over here for you to look at. It's all very important. You should read all of it. Or you can watch the video. Whichever one works for you. I think he lost his parts. Come on, tape's rolling. I'm running out of stuff to do over here. Okay, now if the cam slides easily, the teeth are not tight, which is a plus. Okay, so the cam is definitely loose. You hear the clicking noise? I'm taking my fingers like this on the gear. It's going click, 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 click. That means it's loose. So you spin it around in a couple different spots. It's a little bit tighter right there. Okay, so that cam gear is too loose. If you put the exhaust lube over here on that side, you put a screwdriver and pry it off. Fine.
I think they're in there.
I don't know about that, maybe. This is tight. Damn. So why is this cam cover so tight going on? See all the burnishing marks on your shaft? Crank is not happy. So you can see the heavy burnishing marks right here on the crankum shaft.
Mm-hmm.
See the heavy rub mark all the way around?
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's an alignment issue with this bushing. This cover does not like being on this motor.
Is that out of
It's a center line problem, not a diameter problem. That's why the crank is kind of hard to turn a little bit. Also. Now. See, we have clearance on the bushing, no problem. It's just when the bushing's installed, it's tight. All right.
trying to switch spots?
Okay, let's put a little bit of oil on there. See if things get easier. Screws. So we gotta see if these screws are what we're gonna need here. So we got all this stuff all separated out, and someone help me out by mixing it all up again. I'll have to go figure out what's what again. Okay, we need a long one for here. That one's not quite long enough. That one's a little bit longer, so we'll try that one. That one will work. So there's one. Okay. That one's long enough, kind of a little short, but it'll work. So an eighth of an inch would be nice. I think we only have one that was a quarter inch long was our problem we had before. These are all the same. These are all quarter inch longer. Quarter inch longer makes it pretty long, but I think we checked it before and it did work. Even though I didn't like it, it worked. Okay, we got 4 of these, which will work down here. Those all look like good length. That one's a little bit on the long side, but I think it flies. And that one's good there. So there we go. Got all the proper length bolts hanging down. Okay, all of this we're not using. See if any of these are a little shorter. They're all the same length. Okay. You also want to make sure all of them have a little washer on here, which keeps it from sucking into that cam cover hole. The bolt hole it goes into. try this again. I get a feel for what the drag is with no load on it. I slipped it a lot easier with the oil on it. What a shocker.
Yeah, sometimes stuff just feels...
Now when you got the screws on here, we can actually torque the cover down so we know it aligns it exactly the case, so it's not just maybe in the right spot. It is in the right spot. Make sure all the screws go in. They all feel pretty good. That feels slightly tighter than it was, but still good. That feels a lot better now with the lubricant on it, but it's pretty tight. The crank should be coming up on its own, if it didn't have any bind on it at all. See the weight of the crank won't bring it up. And we know the cam's not tight, see, it's loose. Just enough it won't come out. Okay, so two options. A lot of low RPM, slow miles. Brake in slowly, gently, and let the bushing burnish itself in. Or we loosen it up a little bit bigger. Loosen the bushing, less the oil pressure. But if it sticks, you're screwed. So.
I do break things in gingerly. Can we do half and half? I'll still break it in gingerly, but not open it up enough that it's loses the oil pressure.
You never know what you're going to get, so that's why usually I do these things dry, so I can see the binding more. See, I don't see the mark on here where it's...
Like if it's to one side?
Well, you can see there's a little bit of burnishing here, the first eighth of an inch in the bushing right here. It's really hard to see it though.
Oh yeah, I got it.
It's in there. That's your tight spot. So you get a little bit of binding on that side. Over here doesn't look too bad. It's not binding on the bottom. And is it binding on the top at all? Maybe very, very slightly on the top, but not really there. It's mainly on the side. So that means the cover, if it's on this side, the cover is being shoved this way. What the crank is right now, it's being shoved this direction. So that's your misalignment. It's trying to bend the crank that way.
So if you honed it and put it applied pressure to one side, would that be enough to just give a little teeny bit of wiggle?
Now you clean the bushing out, and you can see. I think that was an eyebrow on the bushing. I don't think that's a wear mark.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where the bushing never cleaned. I don't really see a real shiny spot in the bush itself where it's rubbing. Like I said, I took the oil off, so we can
try it again.
Yeah, without the oil. See, it'll slowly burn it. It's going to burnish itself in. That means it's moving the metal.
Right.
But you have to. It's a fine line between moving metal and sticking metal. Sticking is bad. Moving it over a little bit to make things fit. That's okay. And The other problem we got is this gear is too big. I mean, too small. So we need a different gear. So
That would be a blue one or a black one?
Blue is next up the line.
Do you think blue will be enough to get it up there?
Where's the bag that that gear came out of?
It had writing on it, so it wasn't.
You want to protect the end of the shaft here. That's what that's about. Okay, this is a red. Blackie.
White.
Black's a number 7. 2. 2 is big. One it came out of?
No.
It's yellow. Yellow's number 3. See, I marked in order of size.
That's the blue.
Blue is number 5.
Ooh, there's one out of a bag, but it's blue as well.
That's the blue. The blue is supposed to be in the bag. Oh, the bag had a hole in it. Maybe that's why it's coming out of the bag. Give me a tape right there. It's right behind my sweater. There's the other colors over here. Red is number 4. So that was a number 4 red.
Where's the bag with the hole in it?
Taped it wrong there. So where's all those bags I gave you? Plastic baggies. I need a bag looks like that. Excuse me. Oh geez, on the floor now. That's an eBay bag now, look at that. Is it? Okay. This is number 4. It was in a bag. Look at all those plastic bags I gave you. Big pile of them.
Trash.
That's the lake here. This is gonna trash. They're on one big pile. I gave a whole stack to you with all of them, the gaskets, all kinds of stuff. What to do with them? Give me a little bag, the baggie. They're over here. They're not over here. Okay, this is number 4 red. Okay, we're gonna go to a number 3. Oh, it's probably one of these. I'll go with this one. What do I do with it? Back in that bag. Okay, so we can go from a number 4 to a number 3. Or we can skip right to a number 2. Let's see, 7 and 5 is no good. That's a big bag.
Yep.
This one we don't know what it is.
That's black, I think.
It says red.
Oh.
Red number 4. Red goes in that box. Here's number 3. 3 is yellow. White is 2. So we can go 1 step or 2 steps up. So let's go, let's do a 2 step. Oh, these are gems too. Ooh, these are more money. Ooh, you're a big spender. You want that good stuff in your bike, don't you?
I would like that good stuff in the bike.
Yeah. You think S&S parts are expensive? Wait till you buy gems parts. Ooh. Yeah, gems. Look at that. See
It's
it?
fancy.
See, the quality looks a little better too. See the machining? There's a reason why that stuff does cost a little extra. It usually looks better. Okay, that's a 2-step up. So if that don't make it tight, nothing will. Well, number 1 would, I guess. Just said number 2. That doesn't fit. That did not like going over that keyway. It went on there though. Okay, make sure it's not wobbling. Not wobbling. If it was stuck on the key, the gear would be up here like that and would wobble like that as you rotate it. That's why you always spin check it. Okay, gasket. Gasket. 1 gear. Where's our mark? Mark's way down the bottom. You always like to check it on the gear you're going to use because that's the one that matters. It takes you an extra minute or so to do that. It helps to do that. Okay, no lubricant on anything again, hopefully. I'll need that one. It's still loose here. Okay, so we're not too big. Hear the clicking?
Yep.
Barely.
A little tick.
Barely got anything in there. Okay, so that's pretty close. No, I never know what feel is going to make noise and not make noise, because I've had them when they felt like this, they whined a little bit. I've also had them when they clicked a little bit, so I'd say we're pretty close. We're in a sweet spot right now, I think. You might be able to put an orange in there, which is the number 1 size. You might have a little drag on it though. It's pretty tight. Feel it. Switch the backlash on there. On the gear. And the gears go up and down like this.
I gotcha.
Feeling the low bill is not the same thing. You're sliding it back and forth. That's not the same thing.
Well, on go.
You have to put your finger on the
You're going.
gears. On the gears. See, you're getting this noise. It's different. You gotta push all the way back on the gear. Up and down. See how little it is there?
Oh yeah.
You know, you're doing that in play back and forth.
No, I gotcha.
Totally different.
I gotcha. That's just a little teeny bit of movement.
Now the gear has no drag on it because it slides real nice.
Right.
Camera back. So we can try a bigger one, but that's up to you. Okay, now this drag here is all in the pinion bush. It's nothing to do with that cam gear. So it doesn't come back up. Okay, it's tight. But it's even. It's not in each spot that's tight or loose, tight or loose. It's even. It's got even drag on it all the way around. Now We're also fighting oil pump a little bit too, so that does mask it somewhat. There might be, a lot of this drag might be the oil pump. It is an even number, but it's hard to tell.
Take it apart and see what kind of marks it has on it.
Yep, I'm gonna look on the pinion shaft. If I
No.
see some heavy burnishing marks, I worry about it. If I don't really see too much burnishing, I'm not too worried about it. It's all in the oil pump. See, if you do this before you put the pump on it, then you get different feels, because the oil pump does have drag, especially when you got assembly lube in the oil pump already.
Yeah, check it the way you're running it.
Well, when you're trying to feel for something else, it masks it a little bit. So if you can get this thing off evenly, it's not a problem. Initially, we try to pull it off and want it to come off. See that drag right there? That's drag. See, I'm not seeing any marks in the bushing.
I'll throw a little light on that just so I can see a little better. Okay, I got you.
I don't see anything that's heavily hitting on anything, see? It's no heavy burnish mark.
Mm-hmm.
See, look in the cam, see, it has a mark right there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's loose as a goose, it has a mark on it, but I'm not seeing that over here at all on this thing. You can look at it. And on the crank, all I see is that one mark right there. Obviously there's enough pressure here for the crank to come up with the oil pump, see? So, the pinion gear is adding some drag in there. See the mark we're getting over here?
Yep.
Like I said, the oil pump's not killing the motor, because see, the oil pump does let the crank come back up by its own. So that drag right there is leaving that bark right on the outside. It's only on the inside of the pinion shaft. It's not on the outside over here. It's only right there.
So we're talking just a little teeny bit on the outside.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're not seeing it over here on the. I'm not really seeing any marks in here. So you can barely see a little bit of something right here on the very, very edge. And that's the only place it's probably even hurting. So mainly it's mainly right here up on this edge right here is probably the only spot it's contacting at all.
Is it worth running something in there just to...
It's a toss-up. It's enough drag, it kind of concerns me slightly, but it's not enough I'm really super worried about it. So it's kind of one of those deals, you're right on the line of whether it's enough to deal with it or just let it break in. It comes down to you. A lot of initial stops, start-offs, run it for a minute or two, shut off, or even 30 seconds, shut off, 30 seconds, shut off, a minute, shut off. A bunch of stuff like that.
That's what I do. That's exactly how I break them in. I do cold starts,
And let it
warm
burn
them,
yourself
shut them
in,
off.
because you want to get enough load on it, it's going to move a little bit, but not enough that's going to gull it. You are under oil pressure. That is under oil pressure there, so it does have a fully loaded oil going into it. So that's a plus. If that was on a cam bushing up here, it would lock up on you, but it's being fully pressure loaded. It's not an issue. The tighter that bushing is, the better the oil pressure will be on the bike for the long term. If you make that loose right now, it's going to be horrible down the road.
Yeah, I'm good with it, knowing that I do those cold start break-ins.
Yeah, so if you're going to break it in easily, not just starting out run the piss out of it like a race bike.
No, I do about 5 of those
Then you
from
gotta do
cold.
You do more than that initially. But. Okay, I think the cam gear fits pretty good on the number 2. I think if we go to the next one up, it's going to probably start putting a little drag on the teeth, and it might start whining a little bit. So I'm good with what we got. I don't think it's going to click. There's not enough there to make it click, I don't think. Andrews is very easy on the, they're not much noisy on the cams anyway, so they're pretty gentle on things. The ramping's not real severe, so it doesn't kill it. So I think we're okay on that too. The in play is fine. It's got in play. I don't really care about how much, as long as it's got a decent amount. So I think we're good with what we got. I'm good to put together. So what do you want to do?
Let's run it.
Run it? Beat the par out of it? Call
Yep.
it done?
I'm ready.
Okay. Make sure that's good and tight. It is. Nice and even. Okay, so where is our breather? See if that thing fits in here. It's in. Perfect. It's a good sign. Okay, I'll get a little lube on the gears here. Okay. Put on the shaft. That'll work. Okay. Ahead of myself a little bit. We need a seal. Which one are we going with?
Which see?
One there. One you were playing with.
Of that 2016.
The new Harley one?
Mm-hmm.
The one made 3 years ago? That's it. It's almost on his 3rd birthday. A couple months off. Be 3. Feels good. Okay, this is not the rubber back, this is the steel back one. This we just press it on in. It goes in this direction so it seals. Okay, that's flush. This one here, I'll drop it down below the surface slightly. Just a little bit. There. So you want to put it in where it's slightly below the surface, but not so much that the seal gets in the back of the bushing there. Now this seal does not have the outer lip on it like some of the aftermarket ones do. It's only got the single lip. So you want to make sure you're in there deep enough you're going to do something. Okay, next thing you want to check to make sure the cam's on it. It looks like we can probably go a little bit deeper if we want to. So we'll make sure the cam goes all the way into the seal. Here, go through the seal. There you go. So it's in the seal pretty good. Okay. So now we can put it together. Gooey. So I put a little in the lube in the teeth, damn it, on the lobes. That way the lifters are lubricated where they matter. and then also on teeth here. Like that. Okay, here's our mark right there. Under mark over here. Okay, there's our mark right there.
Bingo.
First shot, see? We don't have to worry about marking that because that don't spin no more. Are you trying to get a close-up of that?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Is that important or something?
Nah, just
Let me put some oil over here where the gasket goes. Make sure you wipe that off. I don't know how that happened. Make sure you put a little lube on that. Definitely on there. Okay, so everything's lubed in there now. Get the little spring we put over here. I'm going to make sure that goes in there. Don't forget to put that in there. That's what keeps that thing in where it belongs, the breather. Otherwise you could have some issues. Unless you like issues.
I'm kind of over the issues.
Okay. Gasket we already put on 5 times already, so we know it's good. I'm used to going like this. What's up with that? Is it tacky? Yeah. Tacky enough. Okay, hang on to chrome. And if you take a scrub pad to go across your chrome here, the gasket will bite better. But you better do that before you clean it because it'll make a lot of grit in your motor. You notice I never do that though.
I see that.
Really good when it pops on like that. That means it's not binding too bad. If you can't pop it on like that, it's binding quite a bit. It's another reason why I'm letting it kind of go. It goes together relatively easily. Okay, longest bolt goes here. Next longest one goes there. That'd be that big one there. And all these are the short ones, same. If you look at all your bolts, you see they get a good 1/2 inch of thread sticking out. That means they're good.
Plenty long.
Means you got good penetration into the hole in there. So that means you can torque it without stripping it. If you only got 4 threads, you can't torque it very much. It'll strip. If you got 8 threads, you can run twice the torque.
Makes sense.
It does? I don't know why. Is that called common sense again? Alright, that's it for that little chicken shit and all that. Where's my real torque wrench? Yeah, this guy. See, the camera's timed, wasn't it? It's supposed to say yes.
Yes.
Remember? You looked? You have video evidence I did it right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Close-up video.
Close up with it. Okay, so that was initial torque, now we torque it. See, I get a good twist on my Allen
Oh
there.
yeah.
See?
Damn.
It's like a torque wrench. When you know it's tight, it's tight. It's tight.
That is
And
damn tight.
can't slide it now. What's that? What happened? Why is it different? Still happen. Cam locked up. If you had lots of inplay, what happened?
Yeah, what?
There it is, okay. It's barely got anything now. What the hell? Lost all our inplay. We're down only like 3. What happened? I know what happened. Got tight, that's what happened. It'll work.
So it twisted when it went on or something?
You got all that silicon crap on the gasket.
Mm.
I think when it fully torqued, I crushed that shit all the way in before I just pulled it apart against it. I lost probably 5 thou in play. See, now we got nothing.
Like 0.
What's in there? But it's basically nothing. See, that works now. See, now it's tight as hell. See. Yeah, that's not good. Something major changed. We lost our kin plays. It's twice as much low. Turn it now. That's why I don't like that silicon crap on gaskets. I don't like those stupid format gaskets either. Still a little tight, but it's. See, the end play came back. So obviously the gasket took up a lot more than expected. One more drag on it too. That needs to be thinner.
And originally, we mocked that up with a different cam. Originally. So that would make sense.
I'd be in the same cam the whole time.
Originally, we did that with a SE57.
Yeah, but I checked it 5 times already today with the same cam.
Good point.
So we have to just thin up this washer. You still got more drag in the head no matter what. Which I don't understand why all the drag went up so high. Because we still had, this wasn't locked solid, it's just tight. It's solid. We definitely got a lot more drag than we had. This is a 70 thou wash, which is pretty damn big. Let's see, we're going to need at least 5 more than we got, if not 10. I like 8 to 12, so I'm going to go all the way down to a 60. That'll make it nice and loose. Because we got about maybe 3 in there, and that gasket still is not fully settled.
Right.
I don't want to run it at 7 or 8, preferably. So we're going to gain 10 over this one.
Perfect.
Now, what I don't understand is why everything else is so tight. our mark over here again, see if there's anything different. Still got the same line around it. See, it's mainly it's oil that wipes off, see?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we did different, we got everything just all lubed up. So everything's got a thick coat of oil on it. This assembly lube. So I guess that really stepped up the drag quite a bit. Anything else I can figure. Usually doesn't make that big of a change. Okay, so get our line back on there now. Nothing stupid going on here. It looks the same. Guess I'm not seeing anything really different. All right. What's nice about this is it remelts the old stuff, so
Oh,
you don't have any real buildup.
chemical reflash or something.
Yeah, it's a rubber cerized cement type material, so it recoats itself and it'll work. I've even taken gaskets where it's ripped it in half, gooped it, put it back together, it looks fine. You know, when you have a gasket, you can't replace it or
Right.
don't have anything wrong. Or if it's on a race bike, definitely don't care on a race bike. It actually split the whole thing in half, and I'll have to put the two butt ends together and it works fine. No leaks. That was a big change. I'm surprised. He usually doesn't do stuff like that. I had a fairly good torque on it, but not full torque. I don't understand why I made such a change. Unless this gasket really gave up when I put the sealer to it. Made it more compressible or something, maybe? I don't know. We definitely lost a lot of clearance, though. I don't like seeing big changes like that. That's kind of crap when you get that format gasket because they squeeze so much when you torque them.
Right.
You know, how much you're going to lose, you don't know. Okay, spring is still there. You always want to make sure that spring is in there. So we're good to go. We also had the seal in the picture here too, but I don't.
Right.
You wouldn't think that'd be enough to cause that big of a deal. It still pops on real nice.
Yeah, that seal would create drag on the cam for the back end.
Well, everything's adding drag. Everything we're doing is
Right.
adding drag. So that was a significant increase. That was like twice. You don't expect them to be that big of a change, that's for sure. It'll have in play now, though. It'll be a noticeable clunk in there now. Okay, so now we do our two torques. Missed it. One. Go ahead and torque the snot out of it now. I don't put Loctite, you don't need to tighten the damn things down. See how we got in play now, see?
Oh yeah.
That's right where it should be. You see, I was worried about being way too loose, but it isn't. There's a lot of drag on that cam now, though. Feel the difference in drag. Put finger on this side and on the other side. See how much more you got? Before you just kind of fill it back and forth. Now you got to
It would just flop, flop, flop. You got to work for it now.
Yeah, you got to actually push on it now. See, that's all adding to it, all the oil. Big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Damn, I don't like that. Damn way, that's right. Something's different. There ain't no damn way. What the hell changed? Jeez, that's a lot of drag. Alright. Let's pick the damn motor up, see? That's a lot of nice drag. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I don't know what that is. Okay, there's our cam in play. Had to work the oil through this clean, made it easier to turn, but geez, it's tight. Oh, damn, that is tight. It's not the cam. See the cams?
Mm-hmm.
So if the cam teeth were tight, it would not turn. Normally would slide. Jeez, that is way up there from what it was. There's no way I'm gonna run it that loose. What changed? Damn. Jeez. Man. It ain't gonna work. No way. Half of it just went away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. It's binding. Something's binding. Tell them which one it's going to be, right?
All right. Yeah. Remove one. Process elimination.
Yeah. If the torque goes back to normal, then we know the cam is binding up. Because we do have marks in the bushing on the cam, not the pinion.
Right.
But it slides so easy, it's hard to believe that's binding. Maybe the gear teeth is... But like I said, when the cam is sliding, it's not binding. That's what I don't understand. If the teeth were tight, it would be a problem. The tighter you make things, the more these stupid things like this kick in.
Mm-hmm.
The more you try to make things perfect, the more headaches it makes you. Okay, torque. Okay, well, pretty well know it's not the cam.
Wow. It.
It's a little bit less. It actually moved as I slid the motor, but it's still 75% or 80% of it's still in there. So. We know it's not the oil pump. So anything left is the pinion gear. Doesn't matter what the marks are. Obviously it's not moving. It doesn't matter what everything feels like, looks like. We have an issue here. It ain't gonna work. You'll lose the motor being this tight. It's all about the location, the bushing relative to the crank. That's what it all comes down to. Okay, now how are we going to get this thing off of here? Without the cam, we lose our leverage point. Find a new leverage point. Surprised this gasket hasn't torn in half yet. Yep. There's your problem. You left the bolt out. So you get more and more deposit left there, see?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And then you got a big spot on one.
That's where I pull it off.
Oh.
It's not the oil pump, see how nice it turns. You know it's not the pump.
Right.
It's all about this. And see, that's metal that you're leaving. That dark stuff, that's aluminum, that's the bronze that you are burnishing.
Mm-hmm. Is it more on one side?
It looks even on the bushing, on the shaft.
Hmm.
It's even mark all the way around. Damn it.
So just give it a super light little hone and try it again.
Just open it up and you'll line ream it. The problem is we line ream it to the case, it's already assembled, so we'll have to use something else. Still a mark on the shaft, like the oil hides that.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a mark on that shaft yet. If you ran the bike, there'd be a mark. I'll guarantee you that.
Hmm.
Alright, I'm going to go clean this up, I'll be back.